I think it was a very moving address, and I think he spoke very well and passionately. I'm not in favour of a MiG-29 swap because I think it moves us closer to direct escalation.
Now, just explain that for us there. This is about the aeroplanes that are sort of Soviet designed that Poland has, that Ukrainian pilots can fly, and they'd swap them around.
Yes. The Polish, as part of their legacy from the Warsaw Pact, have MiG-29s, which are multi-role but are often used for air superiority, and they've got some of those MiGs. The Ukrainian pilots, or some Ukrainian pilots, will be able to fly those MiGs because the Ukrainians are very familiar with the MiGs as well. So that we would effectively give them MiGs to tackle Russian air dominance over Ukraine. That's the idea, but I think there are two drawbacks with it. Firstly, if you have planes, you need air crew, you need ground crew, you need places to load the planes, you need runways, you need airfields, and with MiGs, you need ground control as well, because they're complex and they rely on being able to talk to the ground all the time, is my understanding of how the MiG-29s work. So you need a whole infrastructure, which just gives the Russians potentially more targets. Secondly, it brings us much closer to direct conflict with NATO and Russia, which I think is something that we really have to guard against, because there are going to be a lot of emotional pressures on Western governments to act. And I think thirdly, you can achieve a lot of what you want to achieve with air denial by giving them anti-aircraft kit.
And so this anti-aircraft kit, why is that so different? Why does that not draw us closer to conflict? Ultimately, it's the West giving Ukraine resources, giving Ukraine military equipment, defensive as it might be. What's the sort of line in the sand here between surface-to-air missiles and aeroplanes?
Yeah. You're right. They're both kit. In both occasions, we are giving them kit. But the MiG-29s that we're giving them is far more symbolic. I think it has a much higher profile in terms of the symbolism. But also, I think just nudges us closer to a more direct involvement in this war. Anti-air and anti-tank kit is clearly defensive because you can't invade other countries with that. So I think it enables us to hold a line about selling non-offensive kit better, but also anti-aircraft kit can do the job just as well. And we've seen a lot of very effective fighting from the Ukrainians using modern anti-tank kit, especially when they're taking out the fuel trucks and the logistical, all the stuff that you need for the logistical supply for all the armor you're bringing in.